Here we've got the new V-notch. This is a kind of all-around course. Works for everything, all the way down from the 30th scale, even up to the 10th scale. They'll all work and have a bunch of fun on this. There's a lot of sections that are real difficult on the 30th scale, but it can make it all the way up to the top and run along the top, go through the center. These outer edges are fairly difficult here, but there are a lot of areas that it can get around. Extremely difficult on the 30th scale. Red Cat is not too bad on. It actually does pretty decent on. Once you start getting to this size, it becomes a lot easier. This stock AX224 actually does this thing phenomenally. It's one of my most fun ones to have on it is the stock AX24. This is actually a TRX power wagon here, not an axial, but this one does pretty good on here. The rear bumper gets hung up a little bit on some of the more aggressive rocks there, but it does overall really well. The Capra is a ton of fun. The high trail, the bumpers can drag on some sections, but it does overall really well, especially diagonally at like a 45 through there. You get a lot of articulation and twist coming through here, which is really fun. One of the cool things about this way that I got it set up, you've got obviously the V-notch set up this direction. One of the cool things on it that I like to do is prop it up at an angle, and then it obviously becomes much more difficult. The center here becomes really hard to get up and through. Even up at an angle like this, the stock AX24 can make it up it, but it is extremely difficult. One of the Capras or 10 scales does it fairly well. In fact, you can get it pretty steep with them, and it ends up being a ton of fun to try to do it that direction. So the centerpieces are available separately as well, and I do have coming soon some different variations, ones with like a larger bump in the middle, bigger textures on the outside, so just some extra shape, so you could lengthen this out as long as you wanted to as well. And so you could end up making a really long uphill section for the larger vehicles if you wanted. And so on here, everything's kind of snapped together here. And these ones here are some of the prototypes that are not labeled, but these ones up here, we can see have labels on them, so you can tell which order they're at. And so the A's on the outside here, if we pull this apart, we can switch this and put it this direction instead, and then you get a wide ridge and a narrow ridge instead. And so you can end up changing this quite a bit, or as well, if you wanted to push this off to the side and get rid of this one, then instead we could do this. Now obviously I got to move all these tabs around to make it actually line up properly, but this creates a straight up and over instead. And so other options that you get in there as well, so you can change kind of the shape up and however you want to there. So you've got a handful of different options as to the direction that it can go. This wider V here works pretty well for the 10th scale. It gives you a pretty good notch in through there to get it through, which, like I said, when you go up a hill, that becomes pretty difficult there. So the sections are different, fronts and starts and finishes. And so there are different textures coming around. This one here has a really aggressive and a lot of holes in it, which are easy for the vehicle to get kind of hung up and stuck on smaller vehicles. The AX24, like I said, is probably one of the better vehicles for this course. I have a ton of fun with that AX24. Lots of different cool arrangements that we can make with it. Like I said, they're all a ton of fun on it, and you can go up and around, straight across. It overall is a really fun setup there.